So today I had a new pistol arrive. Many of you from the thumbnail will probably be able to guess what this pistol is. But this was something that I was very excited about when they first announced it. I was like chomping at the bit to get my hands on it. And then by the time it released, I don't know, I just kind of lost a little bit of interest maybe. Perhaps was a little bit underwhelmed with what they'd done. I really don't know. Don't have that answer for you. And I've been putting off getting this for ages, but I keep looking at it, and it is a really expensive pistol compared to many others. But, you know, their first pistol that they did, this is none other than the Krytac Silencer Co. Maxim 9. So let's get the M733 out of the way. And we can take a look at this really unique pistol. Really nice box here. They've actually got the same stippling as on the grip as the pattern on the box, as boxes go. It's very nice indeed. So I picked this up in the UK from Land Warrior. They are one of the UK Krytac stockists or wholesalers, distributors, whatever you want to call it. They just seem to have it in stock at the cheapest price comparable in the UK. Usually I would have got this from somewhere like Fire Support or something like that. I did want to get a load of other bits with it. I did buy the holster with it because I had it in stock. They didn't have the red dot plate in stock, and they didn't have mags. So at the moment, this is all we've got, as well as the holster. And you'll, if you don't know what this is, you'll understand why I had to buy the holster. So lovely, good packaging there. You got all the Krytac manual and such like that. There's a little bit from Land Warrior here, just. Open it, just saying they've done a test on it, did it yesterday, it was doing about 300 FPS and that they give 30 days warranty. So we can pull the cover off here, very nice foam, and there we have it, the Krytac Maxim 9. So we have the pistol itself, we have one gas magazine. You can buy this in a CO2 version or a gas version. As far as I'm aware, the only difference is the magazine that it comes with. We've got an unjamming and cleaning rod, and we also have some Allen keys, and that is everything. So we'll put that back in there. We'll put the Allen keys in there because we probably won't need those. We'll get rid of all the gubbins and get the box out of the way. So WTF is the Maxim 9. Now this is a pistol developed by Silencer Co. It's an integrally suppressed pistol. I think the original real pistol used Glock mags. So many features, more than I could try to sort of get across on camera. Go if you're interested in the real version of the Krytac, the real version of the Maxim 9. Messing up already. Just go and search on YouTube. There's loads of people that have done videos on it, and it's very, very peculiar looking indeed. You might see this in various video games. The one that comes to my mind was that Ghost Recon Breakpoint, was it? I think it was in that. So we've got polymer frame here, and then we've got metal front end and like the little rear slide section, everything like that. Very cool indeed. A nice flat trigger. Majority of it, obviously you've got the safety on the trigger. You've got the slide release on both sides. Mag release on the left side, I'm not sure if you can convert it. So I won't say that you can. But it would be nice if they could for left-handed shooters. I am, of course, a right-handed shooter. So we have a you know, generic-looking Glock magazine. This is extremely light, and if I've got the scales here, I'll weigh it for you. Let's see what this weighs at. See if the little scales will do it. So the Krytac magazine, let's do it like that, is 118 grams, so it's really, really light for the size. It feels lighter than that. And for comparison, this is a TTI magazine that came with a TP22. This is full of gas, where this one's empty, so just take that into consideration. But it's overloaded, so it's over 200 grams. Have we got a GHK one? Should have a GHK mag somewhere. Or not. So GHK Glock 17 mag, 146 grams, so it's even lighter than the GHK Glock magazines, and these magazines are super light. Very similar sort of start at the bottom of the base plate, so you don't have any valve here, although it doesn't have Glock markings, of course. Valve at the top there, much like a VFC. It does have the cuts on either side of the magazine. So what this normally sort of points out to is that you can switch the mag release because it's got the catch on either side. We have the pistol here. Keymod, you know, back when they originally produced the real Silence Co Maxim 9, I imagine Keymod was very popular at the time. Of course, people have moved away from Keymod. Nobody uses it. It's very M-Lock, you know, is superior in every single way. So we can drop the slide back here and lock that into place. And yeah, it's a very peculiar looking pistol. From a lot of the, obviously I watch a lot of videos, I've just looked at a couple of people reviewing it. And when they were holding it, I was kind of worried after I'd ordered it, because I was like, oh, bloody hell, that looks massive. I don't know whether they've got small hands or it was camera's perspective, I don't know. But I was expecting this thing to be huge, but it's not actually that bad for me. It's it doesn't feel as big as it looks on camera, let's put it that way. The grip is extremely comfortable and contoured to your hand, and each finger you have like these alleviated curves. Very, very comfortable indeed. The sort of pattern on here doesn't stick out and grab your hand. It's not sharp, but it provides plenty of grip as to not slip with it. I really do like this this pattern. It's very, very good. The only thing I would say on the grip for me personally is the corner here of the frame seems to hit this joint bone part in my hand. I'm not sure what that's called. It does seem to interfere with that, and it does feel a little bit uncomfortable there. Perhaps something I'll have to get used to, sort of wrapping my thumb around a little bit more. Whether you want to situate your trigger finger down below like this or like this, both are extremely comfortable, depending on how you want to do it. So the real pistol, you know, it's got an integral suppressor. It's designed to be quieter than your average handgun. These do have a good infrastructure where Krytac will sell you a kit, and what that kit does is it extends the silencer or the suppressor, whatever you want to call it, you know, a good inch or so more. And then what you can do is you can fit a Ace Tech tracer in here, so you can have all the great functionality. It's got a slightly wider bore, I think, so you can have tracers, you can have it flash the LEDs to simulate, you know, firing a real round. But yeah, very, very cool indeed. Very very James Bond, isn't it? Without obviously, I'm not aware that it's been a James Bond film, but it does look very secret agent. We're just going to pop some gas in this magazine. Just a bit of propane, just so it's ready for us to fire. And the other interesting thing about this gas blowback pistol, which I'm not sure if it was on the real one, I don't think it was, maybe it was an option, not sure, is you've got a fire select. So you've got semi-auto on the right hand side, and then you've got a fun switch pushing it to the left, which is very, very cool feature indeed. The videos that I've watched, it does, by the looks of it, it does like to spit gas on full auto. Us here in the UK being cold and, you know, humid a lot of the time, we do suffer from cool down compared to a lot of other countries there. So we'll have to see how that goes. The trigger, let's have a look at that. So this trigger is made of plastic, I believe. So as you pull the trigger, you've got a very small amount of movement to hit a wall. The wall is very prominent. It is going to be slightly stronger of a trigger pull compared to like your average Glock replica or G17, G19 replica, but it's nowhere near like the GHK Glock 17. So me having a GHK Glock 17, this is light to me, but you know, got the brake, quite a lot of travel, and then the reset. It's actually really sticky, so you can almost hear the plastic skipping across the frame. and then, but it's not a bad trigger at all. It would be nice if they did some kind of upgrade trigger, you know, an adjustable maybe that's made out of, you know, CNC machined aluminium or something like that. Let's pop the mag in. Of course, this gun is empty. I've checked it. There's nothing in the mag. Before we do that, you can see the adjuster there for the hop adjustment. I think they really missed a massive trick with this pistol. They really effed up here. Looking at other videos as well with them describing how the hop system works, they should have done a TDC. It would have been so easy to do, but they've used like a side lever style action, which you find in a lot of other pistols. They royally effed up there. They could have made this absolutely superb. And this isn't a cheap pistol. It's about $260 to $300 depending on where you're getting it from. So it's an expensive pistol. You're in, you know, GHK Glock 17 territory. But let's give this a little quick dry fire and see what it's like. So we've got semi-auto. Not too bad at all. Oh, that trigger is very difficult to fire it rapidly. It's not a fast trigger at all. It's got too much movement on it, so you try to do this, but sometimes it doesn't reset. So, but for most of you out there, that's going to be absolutely plenty for you. Let's just top this off with a bit more gas. Of course, we'll have purged the atmosphere out of it by doing a bit of dry firing. We can dry fire a bit of auto to test it as well. Nice to manipulate. The serrations are really prominent, so you're never going to slip racking the slide on this. Do you call it a slide? Do you call it a bolt? I'm really not too sure. And we have a bit of full auto. Actually a lot better than what I was expecting. Not too fast, not too slow, just, you know, right down the middle. So we've got some white dot sights there. Nothing too crazy. To take the slide off of this, now what we will do, we push the button. There's a little button at the back of the slide here. As you push that, you can lift this lever up at the front, like so. And after you've lifted that lever up, we can actually draw, slide back. Once you get back so far, you'll hit like a wall, like that. And then all you want to do is just nice smooth motion, like that. And the bolt slash slide, whatever you want to call it, will come off. You know, if you've seen G17, G18s, this is all going to seem familiar to you. You know, it's probably a good idea that they base it up on that system because parts, and we just know that it's a tried and tested system. You've got a really wide bore on the nozzle there. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. Let's see if I can get you a little bit lighter. So you've got a really wide bore on the nozzle. And the mags on these have the curved routers, not the flat ones like the TTI. So I've heard you can use other branded magazines in this pistol, but there's one of two things you have to do. The magazines that have the notches on the back of the mag, you either have to grind them off the magazine or you have to modify the grip at the back here. So you have to sort of either Dremel or file this channel out the back. Let me see if I can get you in focus here. So here, you have to just remove that and that allows you to put the mags in. Why you'd want to use anything but the mags that come with it, these are very good, very lightweight. If they had magazines in stock, of course, I would have bought some. I'll have to go get them off another retailer, which is a massive pain in the ass, but here we go. See if we've got any steel components here. Obviously, this is all going to be aluminium. Obviously, steel screws. We've got a steel block there. So the latch to hold the slide and the housing is steel or some type of magnetic metal. The slide release is steel. The frame seems to be some kind of aluminium, and then all the components inside are steel. So there's a lot of steel components there. That's good. You know, not made of monkey metal. you're buying a premium pistol, you want premium quality materials. Very, very good. I'll pop this back on now, and we just slide it on from the back, I think. I've seen a lot of people struggle with that, but it's gone straight on. Now, when you put this back on, you want to, don't press this down yet, you want to push the button at the back, then close that latch, and then let go. And we're back together. Now, on mine, I did experience, you'll see, all this is obviously going to be an assembly that sits inside this polymer frame. I don't know if you'll see that, but mine is a little bit loose. You can move it up and down. Whether it's like it on all of them, or whether it's like it on just mine, who knows, but there's a lot of play. I seem to always be unlucky with these. You guys tell me that yours is nice and tight. Mine isn't. So let's put, before we do anything else, let's put a round through. Now I'm going to chrono this on 0.3 gram BBs. I don't use anything less than a 0.3 in anything. So we're going to be using 0.3s. I've heard that these guns can hop anywhere up to a 0.32 with that stock system. I've heard the hop up units do back themselves off as you fire them, so you'll set your trajectory, the rounds will fly nice and straight, and then the more you fire it, it just winds itself off. So that might be an area we have to look to modify in future. We will see. So this magazine is cold, of course, because we've been firing it, but we're going to use it anyway. We're just going to roll with it. Chrono, set to 0.3 gram BBs. Magazine in. Can we power stroke it? Yes, we can. Right, let's put some rounds through it. So on a 0.3, we're getting 0.8 joules at 252. 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, consistent, and 0.8. So we're around the 250 mark for all those shots. Let's see if we can get a rate of fire on this. Now this Chrono doesn't like gas blowbacks being fired through it. The RPM tests. Oh, it actually worked for a change. Now it did pick up the gas, so it's going to show like we're half a joule, but it was about 13 rounds a second. We did lock back on empty. Very cool. Very, very cool. Now, obviously, just sitting there, I open the box, of course, I do with everything, just to make sure everything's in the box before I do these videos. So I do have a quick look before I get it in front of the camera, but I don't delve deep unless I've seen it in a video beforehand. This is an expensive pistol. It's a premium pistol. But one of the things that irks me, now they do a red dot plate for this, like an adapter. So without that red dot adapter plate, you cannot fit a red dot. You have to buy that as an accessory. It does look like it's plastic. Now I could be wrong. It could be a, you know, a CNC'd aluminium plate or whatever. But to sell this retail anywhere between 260, 270 all the way up to 300, I've seen it, and not include that plate, I think is a massive, massive con. You know, we've invested so much money. We've bought a premium pistol off, you know, Krytac is a premium brand. They are going to be releasing a gas blowback Vector soon. But to not just include that in the box, like I'd rather you cut costs, strip away the nice packaging, and just give me what I'm going to need. Going to have to buy that separately to put red dot on, and then find a shop that's got it in stock because, you know, the stockist didn't have it. Now, it's not a problem with them. They obviously stock products. I'm not, you know, faulting Landwire for that at all. People are going to buy the stock, the products, and things are going to go out of stock from time to time. This isn't a dig at them at all. It's just a dig at Krytac. This should have been in the box. Now, I get it. You're selling suppressor extensions with tracer units. That's really cool. They do a limited edition version of this where it comes in the box with the, I think it comes with the red dot plate, with the suppressor extensions, with the tracer unit, with the holster. It's like 500 and something pound. I get that, collector's editions. Yeah, I'm all for that. You know, rock on. But charging extra just for that plate, honestly, it really did. It really annoyed me. But let's carry on, shall we? I'm just ranting too much now. So I bought the holster, of course, because you're going to want to holster this thing. It's one of the things that annoyed me with the TTI TP22. I just can't find a holster, which is the only reason why I haven't really used it since. But you can buy the holster from them. So Krytac, SF used only. It is a soft plastic, somewhere between plastic and rubber. It's very soft and pliable, but that's not, you know, a big problem at all. It is quite squeezed in out the box. Let's open that up a little bit, and it goes in nicely. It pushes into the holster really smoothly, actually, and it locks into place. You have adjustable retention, you know, great stuff. And not only are they giving you the holster in this packaging, they're giving you a duty style belt attachment, so you can put it on your kit straight away. Whether you can, this does look quite generic, so I'm not sure what fitment that is. You holster aficionados out there might be able to tell me whether you can get like a molly adapter for this and whatnot. I'm not sure. So, but you know, nice that I can put this together, put it on my gear, and run a. You know, to run a pistol as a secondary, you need a holster. You're not hovering it in the air behind you. So obviously, I bought it with the holster. Now this, I mean, the holster is quite a long piece, but it's nice now that it's going to securely. And to be honest with you, when that's on your leg, you could probably draw the pistol down into that like that, so it'd be quite easy to index, I think. And it has got a cutout to make sure that your red dot doesn't, you know, it still fits in the holster. So they have thought about that. You get a couple of adapters. I think these you sort of push into here. Maybe like that. That was actually far too easy. It might be the other way around, not too sure. But these are little spacers, and if you've got like a slightly thinner belt, you could put these in to make sure it doesn't sort of wobble around as you're gaming. So this is just held on with 3 bolts. You can simply turn these out here. I will try to wrap this first video up because I think the retention on my videos, people get bored after about 4 minutes, I think it is, depending on what's being talked about. But you know, you can put the information out there. If people want to find it, they'll find it, won't they? So let's put this on here. It's just 3 screws, and then you taut these down, and you can also pivot it into 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 different setups. So yeah, 5 different angles. So whether you want it canted forwards, whether you want it canted backwards, I will probably end up just putting a dust of, you know, paint maybe on this, like a bit of green or something, just to break it up, because it's, you know, very, very black. And you can see where the flex of that plastic is now. So maybe when you're running, this is going to sort of wobble around a bit. Time will tell. Very good product. You know, nice that you can, of course, carry it. Kudos for that. You know, marking you down for that, that is an absolute piss take in my opinion. But what do you think of the Silencer Co. Maxim 9 from Krytac? Very, very cool. You know, very collector, isn't it? Very unique. I don't think I've ever seen one of these out on the field before, probably because of the price. I'm not, you know, new to the table with this. I'm not one of the first people to get my hands on and review it. This has obviously been out for some time now, but I've been putting off getting it. I've been looking at a new sidearm of some description, whether it be like a TM or a VFC Glock maybe, because my GHK doesn't really like the cold weather. I was thinking maybe like a TMG 18 or something like that, and then I thought, you know what, let's get something on the other end of the spectrum. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about this Silencer Co. Maxim 9. I do shoot these videos in 4K to try and give you as much detail as possible. There's nothing worse than looking at videos on interesting, cool airsoft gear and it looking like it's been filmed on a potato. So I think that's one of the plus sides I do have on my channel. I shoot everything in 4K. It would be nice to see them come out with better triggers, because that triggers gash. Do you want to see me take this apart? Do you want to see me upgrade the hop let me know down below. A like and a subscribe goes a long way, and if you do that, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But I'm going to wrap this up for now, and from me and Bench, as always, we'll see you in the next video.